Welcome, everyone. My name is Doug Casey. I'm the Assistant Director for Student Engagement here within the SMEAL College of Business. I sit within our Business Career Center. We are located in 114 Business Building, so we're right here on the main level here and are here and able and willing and able to serve with your, all you need to do is just type in your ABC 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. We're here for any and everything related to your career and professional development. So today we're talking about LinkedIn. Going to be very quick hitting session here. Again, want to have some questions at the very end. Please follow along with your LinkedIn profile. I'm happy to kind of answer some questions at the very end as well. If you have those, if you don't want to ask them throughout the presentation, but feel free to stop me and ask those questions throughout the presentation. I want you all to get as much out of this as you want, okay? So how many of you have a LinkedIn profile? Great. How many of you feel comfortable and confident with your profile? Okay, this is why we're here, right? Perfect. So like I said, I want you all to get out of this what you want, so please ask questions throughout this presentation. And again, I'm going to stop a few minutes beforehand just to allow time for some questions. So before we dive too far into this, I want you to know that you are not alone in this process, right? LinkedIn, it can be kind of confusing, but the more you're in LinkedIn, the easier it's going to be, just like any other system. So one thing that we really encourage you all to utilize is this LinkedIn learning platform, university.linkedin.com. So it's a whole host of resources dedicated to you as students, and really how can you maximize your LinkedIn profile and your LinkedIn presence as a college student. This is a really big resource for students, and I really want you to spend some time looking into this. Because as we see here, there are plenty of videos here talking about the job hunt. You know, what are some of those tips and tricks as a college student can you be utilizing? How do you build your professional brand? Some of those checklists here. Building a student profile. Really anything and everything that you can think about LinkedIn is going to be on this university.linkedin.com section. So I really want you to play around with that and see what works for you. Again, it's just helpful resources that are out there for you, okay? Next, very briefly, going to go over the, networking here. LinkedIn is obviously a networking tool, and we want you to become comfortable with networking, whether that is with family and friends, or that's companies with whom you've interacted, or if that is, those are complete strangers, right? We have a whole bunch load of SMEAL alumni that are in LinkedIn, willing and ready and able to help you in whatever way that is, but you have to kind of get over the hurdle of understanding that this is going to be awkward sometimes. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but really at the end of the day, this is about you becoming connected to someone, whether that is virtually or whether that is in person. Obviously with LinkedIn, this is going to become virtual, and so it's your opportunity to develop your presence and really continue. How are you talking with this person in person at networking sessions here in the business building or at career fairs? Are you coming across as the same type of person in your LinkedIn profile? Are you coming across in terms of your communication as well? This is all very important about a part of your brand, and we want to make sure that you're thinking about this consistently, whether that's in person or whether that's virtually through LinkedIn. So just a very brief introduction. You all have LinkedIn, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But essentially, that second bullet point, it's a tool to communicate. At the very end of the day, this is what LinkedIn does, and if you let LinkedIn work for you, that's how you're going to develop your online presence and potentially become connected with our employers. Through this communication tool, reach out to our alumni, reach out to the individuals that you're speaking with at career fairs, reach out to your family, friends, faculty, staff, anyone that you know. Reach out to them, because then you get access to their networks. And at the end of the day, that's what LinkedIn is all about, developing connections to broaden your network base. So that's what this really is. Like I said, you all have a LinkedIn profile, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but LinkedIn does a wonderful job walking you through piece by piece what should be on your profile and how you can really make your profile as robust as possible. So let LinkedIn work for you. Let it help you. Now we're diving into really building that profile here, and again, why you're all here. You know, we want you to become confident and comfortable with your profile, because the minute that you're comfortable and confident with that, then you can start to connect with our alumni, our company recruiters, let's be honest, strangers that are out there. But you want to be comfortable and confident with your story, just as we want you to be comfortable and confident with your resume. So whatever you can be doing to be confident and have that robust profile, that's what we want you to do. So things that will help you to stand out from some of your peers. I'm not going to go through this entire list, but provide that professionalism. So have a professional photo taken of you, right? Whether that is a friend of you taking a picture of you against a white wall, or that is a full headshot that you are paying for. Does not matter, as long as it's a nice professional picture where we can see your face clearly, we understand what you look like, who you are, and it's not just a grainy picture of you from Facebook. There are plenty of opportunities here within the business building to get free professional headshots. If any of you are involved in any sort of student organization, sometimes they offer that opportunity as well. But at the very least, just get a photo of you dressed to the nines, standing in front of a white wall, and get that on your profile. If you have an opportunity to have a professional headshot taken, upload that in here as well. Tagline and summaries. So oftentimes, this is a way for you to stand out. Our recruiters are looking through your profiles, and this is your chance to really tell them more about who you are than just your black and white resume. Oftentimes we say, at the very least, when you're creating a profile, we want you to just copy and paste what's on your resume and put it right into your profile. But in order to really maximize your LinkedIn presence and allow LinkedIn to work for you, you really want to develop that presence a little bit better. So have something more comprehensive and more complex than just a student at Penn State. Our recruiters already know that. If they see at the very bottom that you're at Penn State graduating in 2022, they already know you're a student at Penn State. So that tells them nothing else. But if you wanted to come up with a creative, couple sentences or even a paragraph long description or summary of you, your personality, your professional goals, and infuse a little bit of your personality within that. That's a great part of your summary. So what we like to say is a snapshot of your story. Don't just say accounting student at Penn State, because again, we already know that reading your resume. So this is your chance to really kind of set the tone and allow the recruiters or whomever is reading this to learn about you just a little bit different way than what is on your resume. Don't forget to include your information and obviously your all the stuff from your resume, but go deeper than that, right? This is, again, an opportunity for you to be more than just this black and white piece of paper. So add in all those class projects, add in all of those other experiences and activities that you may not necessarily be able to fit on a one-page resume, but add every single one of those to your LinkedIn profile. This allows recruiters to really get to know you and your entire involvement here at Penn State and before. Whereas a resume, really, we try to whittle some of those experiences down and make sure it's just only the most impactful experiences on that resume. So again, LinkedIn offers you the opportunity to add a little bit more. So we encourage you to do that. Obviously, do not put your birth year, relationships, misspellings, or punctuation. That's going to be just a big no-no. Same thing with the resumes. We want you to present yourself in a very positive and professional way. Building a profile, like I said, LinkedIn does a wonderful job walking you through what are some of those things that is necessary and what are some of those things that can help enhance your profile compared to others. So it's going to ask you, talk to us about your volunteer experience. Have you participated in any group projects? It's going to ask you to bring all that stuff in there. And that's going to be very important stuff because, again, that's going to be pieces to the puzzle of who you are as a professional. Once you build that profile, right, it's going to be incredibly important that you stay active in LinkedIn, right? It's not just enough to copy and paste and put your resume online. It's more than that. LinkedIn allows you to, again, be connected to anyone and everyone. We highly encourage you to connect with each other as students, connect with your friends, connect with your faculty, connect with us at the Business Career Center, connect with our company partners and recruiters, because the more you develop your connections in your network, the more opportunities you have to connect with other people. And at the end of the day, networking is about building those relationships. And if you can reach out to someone at your dream company through a second connection or a connection of a connection, that's going to be incredibly helpful for you. but you're not going to be able to get to that until you build out your network base. So I highly encourage you to just spend 10 minutes researching every single person that you can think of and connect with them on LinkedIn. I highly encourage you to do that. Beyond that, think about actively, being active within LinkedIn. Share articles. Look on the newsfeed, the homepage, like other people's articles and their shares and their reposts, kind of like what you do on Twitter and Facebook. But because the more active you are, the higher chance that a company recruiter is going to see your name. The more active you are commenting, liking, resharing, or posting your own content, the more active your friends or your connections are going to see you. So that's going to be very important, right? It's not just about putting your resume out there and hopefully someone will come by and stumble upon your profile. But the more active and more proactive you are in this LinkedIn newsfeed and your homepage, then it's going to be a lot easier for you. Come up with potentially some recommendations. LinkedIn allows or sends emails and prompts other people to say, hey, so-and-so, give them a recommendation. And you can give them, or you can endorse them for certain skills. Ask your friends to do this. Ask your student organization advisors or your faculty members to give you these endorsements and these recommendations, because people actually do read those. They're going to see that and say, oh, 20 people endorsed me for public speaking. That's going to be great. I actually want to talk with you about that. Why do people think that you're a great public speaker? And then that gives you an opportunity to share all those great stories that you've had in your past to develop your public speaking skills. Does that kind of make sense? So allow LinkedIn to work for you and leverage your position with your fellow peers, with your friends, with your just network of individuals. Companies and organizations to follow. If you are very interested in working for a certain company, follow them on LinkedIn. It's a great opportunity for you to get to know what is important and what's on top of their mind by seeing what stories that they post. And if you're going into an interview with said company or just a meeting with a recruiter, you get to know kind of some of that stuff that's on the top of their mind right here, right now. So that's a great opportunity for you to just understand your company a little bit better. Talk about or follow some of those influencers that sound interesting. Really just be active on LinkedIn. That's all I can say there. We talked about adding all these connections. Like I said, the more connections you have means the more opportunities you have to connect with other people. So really make your connections robust. Spend 10, 20, 30 minutes just going through every single person that you can think of. See if they have a LinkedIn profile and go ahead and connect with them, because that's going to help you in the long run when you're looking to be connected to your companies, when you're looking to be connected with our recruiters. So a lot of people ask us, should we accept network connections or connect with people that we don't know? At the very short of it, yes, we highly encourage you to do that, because at the end of the day, you have an opportunity to connect with this SMEAL or Penn State alumni at a given company and find out more information about them and their company. It's a way to get your foot inside the door to some of these companies. At the end of the day, when you're looking at those careers, those internships, co-ops, externships, you want to be known by a company, right? And LinkedIn is a phenomenal way for you just to be known. So we highly encourage you to leverage your status as a student here. Connect with our alumni who work at the dream company that you want to work for. Connect with people who have the same title of a job that you potentially want. Reach out to them. Learn as much as you can. Conduct these, what we call informational interviews. Just reach out to them. Say, hi, so-and-so. You don't know me, but I'm a student here at Penn State SMEAL College of Business. I see that you're working at this company. I was wondering if you could talk with me about your story. How did you get to your position? Because you can learn a lot by how someone got to their specific position, and that way you could potentially emulate that roadmap in your own career path. So it's a great opportunity for you to do that. Additionally, it's a great opportunity to potentially pose questions and say, this person may not necessarily be one in a hiring position, but at the end of the day, they could know someone or could be willing to provide your resume directly to the human resources. And that in itself is what LinkedIn's all about, developing those relationships, establishing those connections, so that way you can move a little bit more forward within the career process than some of your peers who are not doing any of this, okay? So We talked a little bit about, adding these people. Obviously, be very, very professional, right? This is not texting, be as professional as you can in your communication, whether that's connecting with them and saying, adding a little note at the very beginning instead of saying, so-and-so wants to connect with you on LinkedIn, add a little personal note. Say, hi, so-and-so, my name is Doug Casey. I'm a student here at Penn State. I was wondering if I could chat with you or email with you about your role. Simple as that. Again, our alumni love to help our students. It's just up to you to reach out to them because sometimes they just don't know where to start. So as I mentioned, our alumni, we have a huge, robust amount of alumni on LinkedIn. Reach out to them. These are recent alumni. You probably know some of them. They are also people who've been out and working in the field for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Our alumni love to help our students. And they're not going to reach out on their own, but if you are proactive and say, hi, you are following a career path, or you're in a career path that I really want to be involved with, or you're working for a company that I really want to do, or whatever it is, they want to talk with you. They want to help you through that process. So if you go to LinkedIn and type in Penn State University, you'll be able to see close to 307,000 people who have Penn State somewhere on their profile. And you can whittle that down by companies, by where they live, by what they do, the industries in which they work. So it's a really, really great tool if you want to go ahead and pursue that. Additionally, we're going to talk about this as well. The jobs board allows you to see, if you're looking at a position for Vanguard, it allows you to see which company alumni are working also at Vanguard. So you can click right in there and you can see how can you get connected to this company. And again, I'm going to show you that, but it's a really great resource for you. We talked about informational interviews, just getting to know the person, getting to know their story, so that way you can then just gain some knowledge from them. So with that, do we have any questions while I pull up LinkedIn here? Any questions about what we've covered so far? All kind of making sense, right? Cool. So as I mentioned, LinkedIn is a great resource. So right up here is your news feed. I highly encourage you to scroll through here every so often because you get to see who is actually active in your profile or in your network of people. So I can see who is active. I can see what companies are posting stuff. And again, if I'm a recruiter, I'm going to keep seeing these names that are more active than others. So it's just up to you to spend a little bit of time going through all this stuff and just liking some stuff, commenting on some of your friends' posts. It really does help, honestly. Beyond that, as I mentioned, I'm going to come here to the profile here. This is your opportunity to, again, in this about section, really tell us just a little bit about your personality. Don't just tell me you're a student at Penn State. Again, I already know that. But what are some of those things that are the intangibles that I don't know about you by reading your black and white resume? Go ahead and put that on there. Oftentimes we don't encourage objective statements to be on the resume just because they take up space and they tell us nothing extra about you. Use this time to create an objective statement about yourself, but a little bit more of a narrative about this is who I am, this is what I'm passionate about. So that way I, as a recruiter, whoever is reading this, gets to know you and your professional self a little bit better, okay? So spend some time really diving into that. We at the Business Career Center are more than happy to walk you through your LinkedIn profile, help you develop this in a different way, and really make it as robust as possible. So if you have any questions, please come in and see us. But as I mentioned, come in here, talk about your resume, or talk about all those different experiences that you have. And again, some things that you may not necessarily be able to put on your resume. Go ahead and just keep adding all this different stuff in here. You never know where some of these experiences can lead you. So just highly encourage you to put as much stuff in your profile as possible. As I talked about, all these skills and endorsements down here, if you have an opportunity to ask your colleagues, or if someone has an opportunity to endorse you or put recommendations for you, that's a great opportunity. Because again, I can come down here and see, oh, X amount of people have endorsed you for certain skills. As a recruiter, that is interesting to me. I'm gonna see what are some of those skills that you have that maybe some of your peers don't. If you have any opportunity to put accomplishments, any of these projects that you're working on in your student organizations or within your classes, if you are affiliated with any sort of organizations that are kind of national chapters, Obviously, you can put all the student organization experiences in here, all of your volunteer experiences in here, really anything and everything that you can think of about your professional self. Put it in this profile. Down here, you can follow different pages and follow different people. So again, if I'm a recruiter for Deloitte and I come in here and look to see, oh, you actually liked our page. That says something good about you compared to some of your peers that may not necessarily be doing so. So is that all kind of making sense? Just again, kind of want to give you a good rundown of that. One thing I do want to pull up here is this jobs board. So a lot of times we talk with students, and they are obviously very focused in on data-line careers. We highly encourage you to do that. But LinkedIn jobs board is a wonderful and robust jobs board out there that we highly encourage you to spend some time looking at when you're ready to search for internships, co-ops, externships, and full-time jobs. Really great profile here. And what you can do is, as I mentioned, you can see how many company alumni or how many people from Penn State are actually working at these companies. So if I'm interested at all in a Merck internship, we'll come down and sort this by internships in the greater Philadelphia area. I can look to see how many people, what connections I have working at these places, how many connections I have. So say for instance, 42 company alumni are working here. I can click into there and I can go ahead and connect with any of these people, even though I'm not already connected with them, because then it allows me just a touch point with this company. And I can ask these people about, hey, so-and-so, I see that you just graduated from Penn State. You're now working at this company. How did you get to this role? What is it that you can tell me as a current student that I could take away from your path and your experiences? So LinkedIn is just a wonderful opportunity for you to do that. And again, we want you to feel comfortable and confident with your profile, so that way you can be reaching out to these people and let LinkedIn work for you. Okay? Is that kind of making sense for you all? Big nods? Good. So that's really it. Again, like I said, just a quick hitting session here about LinkedIn. Do any of you have any questions for the large group as of right now? Okay. So with that, I'm going to be sticking around here. If you have any questions, feel free to come up and chat with me. More than happy to take a look at your profile if you have any specific questions about that. But I hope you learned something about this. At the end of the day, let us know what we can do to help you. Your LinkedIn profile is just a continuation of your professional story. So we want you to be comfortable. We want you to be confident with your professional story moving forward. So we at the Business Career Center are more than happy to see you and talk with you about that. Okay?